something happened that no one expected. Rose found herself in a moment that wasn't meant for the cameras. A split-second exchange at Mama 2025 that slipped through the noise and instantly turned into the most talked-about scene of the entire night. It wasn't loud, it wasn't staged, and it wasn't part of any planned segment. Yet the way the room reacted made fans stop scrolling, freeze, and rewind. Because when Rose turned her head, just slightly, and Bruno Mars happened to be right there in her line of sight, the atmosphere shifted in a way that US audiences immediately felt through the screen. It wasn't explosive, it was charged. And the mystery behind why that moment hit so hard is exactly what everyone is trying to decode right now. Rose Blackpink had already been owning the night long before that moment happened. From the second she stepped onto the carpet, she brought that unmistakable presence that doesn't rely on anything but precision, confidence, and timing. Her look traveled through social media like a fast-moving current, clean lines, sharp profile, and a kind of calm magnetism that global brands spend millions trying to manufacture, but she carries without effort. She didn't need to say a word. Just her walking through the venue created measurable engagement spikes across every platform. And marketing analysts in the US entertainment space are already pointing out how her impact at a major award show like this functions like a brand case study in real time. Inside the venue, the lights dimmed and the energy condensed into that focused anticipation award shows rarely capture anymore. Rosa's segment was coming up, and even staff behind the scenes were whispering about how her presence has shifted from idol to global creative force. It's the kind of transition that only happens once an artist transcends categories, when they stop being part of the conversation and become the conversation. And tonight, that was Rose. The trigger moment arrived with almost unfair subtlety. She had just returned to her seat after a performance segment, adjusting her outfit with that calm grace she's known for, when a camera caught her from the side. Bruno Mars was nearby, finishing a quiet exchange with a producer. And for a brief moment their paths crossed, not physically, but narratively. Their eyes didn't meet dramatically. Their hands didn't touch. Instead, there was this tiny, human acknowledgement in the middle of an overproduced world. A soft smile from Rose Blackpink, a quick nod from Bruno Mars, and an unspoken understanding that two performers at the top of their fields can recognize each other without needing theatrics. That short clip went online within minutes. And the reactions weren't about the interaction itself. They were about what it represented. Rose, whose growth over the last year has been one of the strongest strategic arcs in global entertainment, appeared in a moment both grounded and confident. Bruno Mars, a legend with a decade-long track record of cultural influence, responded not as a superstar towering over the room, but as an artist appreciating another artist in real time. US fans picked up on the nuance instantly. Comment sections started filling with reactions like, "This energy feels different," and "Rosa's aura is evolving again. She's leveling up." That's what made the clip go viral. Just when the buzz peaked, here's the curiosity spike that pulled even more people in. Viewers started noticing something else in the background, not dramatic, not scandalous, but intriguing enough to pause and zoom in. Rose wasn't just there to attend. She was observing, studying, taking in the room like someone who understood the long game. That's the part that struck industry watchers. Her ability to stay calm while the noise rises around her has become a signature trait, and that trait is often a precursor to an artist preparing for a new chapter. And suddenly the conversation shifted from what happened with Bruno Mars to what is Rose preparing for next. As the night went on, Rose delivered one of the clearest reminders of why her influence is more than just celebrity. Every move she made, from her mannerisms to the way she interacted with staff, carried the precision of someone who understands brand psychology, narrative timing, and market positioning. When a camera found her again during the mid-show transition, she wasn't performing for it. She was simply present. And that authenticity is what audiences in the US respond to more than anything. Meanwhile, Bruno Mars appeared again briefly in another segment. Unrelated to Rose, but close enough in timing that fans connected the dots. He laughed with a fellow performer, disappeared backstage for a moment, and resurfaced for a short announcement. The rhythm of the night kept looping them together, not deliberately, but naturally, creating this ongoing cinematic thread that people kept waiting to see develop. It's the kind of narrative pairing that entertainment editors love because it boosts engagement without needing forced storylines. Rose remained the focal point. Bruno Mars became the atmospheric highlight around her, a compliment, never a competitor. The climax came near the end of the show. Rose Blackpink stood in the aisle, illuminated by a soft overhead light, listening to the final award announcement. The crowd noise lowered into a warm hum. She wasn't performing, yet she carried the weight of the moment as if she were. The camera framed her from the side, revealing the glow of the stage reflecting off her outfit. And for a second, the entire broadcast felt like it belonged to her. The clip of her expression in that exact moment, the calm, the focus, the emotional depth, became the definitive shot of Mama 2025 for US audiences. It wasn't dramatic, but it was powerful. A kind of silent storytelling only Rose can deliver. By the time the event closed, that earlier moment with Bruno Mars gained a new meaning. Not because the interaction grew into anything dramatic, but because it revealed something rare, two high-level artists sharing a piece of genuine humanity in a highly curated space. And for Rose, it added another layer to her evolving global identity, not just as a performer, but as a creative figure stepping deeper into her own influence. As viewers replay the clips, some are realizing that Rose's presence tonight wasn't about capturing attention, it was about controlling narrative space. She didn't chase the spotlight aligned itself around her. And when moments like that happen naturally, they become anchors in an artist's long-term story. Mama 2025 didn't just show Rose. It reframed her. It positioned her momentum. It reminded people, especially in the USA entertainment market, that she is entering a new era of impact, strategy, and emotional resonance. It also made something else unmistakably clear. Rose is no longer moving within the same framework she occupied years ago. She's operating with a level of awareness that blends artistry with strategic instinct, the kind of instinct that tells her exactly when to lean in and when to hold back. Tonight, she chose restraint, not because she lacked confidence, but because real influence doesn't require noise. It requires timing. And Rose Blackpink has mastered that timing in a way only top-tier global figures do. Even the way she reacted to the crowd, the cameras. The shifting energy of the room carried a subtle authority. She wasn't trying to outshine anyone. She wasn't chasing a viral moment. Yet somehow, every natural movement she made turned into one anyway. That's the kind of organic magnetism entertainment analysts point to when they explain why certain artists evolve from stars into cultural forces. They don't push, they pull. And Rose pulled the entire narrative of the night without lifting a finger. Industry observers have already started discussing how her composure tonight mirrors the behavior of leaders in luxury branding, figures who understand that true premium value is built through consistency, control, and selective visibility. Rose didn't just appear at Mama 2025, she curated her presence. Her silence spoke louder than a scripted moment ever could. And that silence created space for audiences to project meaning, emotion, and expectation onto her. That's the psychological sweet spot where fandom, media, and market momentum collide. And she managed it without forcing anything. Bruno Mars' brief involvement only elevated the intrigue surrounding her, adding contrast and dimension without overshadowing her narrative. She remained the gravitational center of the night, drawing attention not through spectacle, but through the rare combination of sensitivity, intelligence, and instinct that defines world-class icons. If you want to follow every shift, every quiet breakthrough, and every moment that shows Rose Blackpink shaping her path in real time, stay close. There's more unfolding beneath the surface, and you won't want to miss what comes next. Stay connected, subscribe if you haven't already, and keep your notifications ready, because the next chapter is already moving toward the spotlight.